Bro.
What's up, dude?
Dude, I don't have your mic plugged in.
Oh, yeah. Check. Yeah, it's on now.
Freaking young Jamie. No, that was my bad. I was doing some solo podcasting earlier. So, cause I've been trying to hit this 5 a week quota for 2 weeks now, and I'm on. So, but yeah, got Bair the Comic back in the studio. Good to see you again, dude.
What's up, man?
Your beard's looking ferociously Viking.
Yeah, thank you.
Viking's an adjective when talking about a beard.
Yeah, I've actually, during the play, I braid it into 3 braids. And
yeah, so Romeo and Juliet. You're and what's your character?
Gregory.
What's your Gregory's backstory?
He is a Capulet, and he's kind of a thug, kind of a gangster. He likes to pick fights, and he sees somebody wearing blue. He just got to take him down, man.
So is Romeo Capulet or?
Romeo is a Montague.
Okay, yeah. So we just talked about, so ironically, this buddy of mine from high school who's actually had done some incredible shit since, he went off to grad school in California, backpacked across Europe. So we did like a 3-hour podcast, and we were talking about the Romeo and Juliet that they showed us in junior high that had like titties in it. And we were just like in 9th grade being like, oh.
Is that the one with Leonardo DiCaprio?
No, this one's like one from like the 60s or something.
Okay.
But they're titties. Yeah. And when you're in 9th grade and you see titties,
even if they're titties from the 60s,
that girls are also in at the same time, it makes it very racy. Anyway, so yeah, dude, we're just riffing about Theo Von before the podcast. Feel like we should give that dude a nod.
Yeah, that was, if you haven't listened to his latest podcast with Joey Diaz, they tell some incredible stories on there.
Stories of bits.
Stories, definitely stories.
Dude, I love how Joey Diaz always kind of like, he's like, because he is a great storyteller. Mm-hmm. Like, but I never even thought until, my awareness through following people like Theo Von or talking to you on the last podcast or just seeing what you're doing. But I've been, Bert Kreischer, all these different stand-up comedians I've gotten into, because most of them come on Joe Rogan's podcast or Joey Diaz's podcast, and then I find out that they also have podcasts, and then so I just found out about Theo Von's podcast like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, like Joey Diaz was just talking about on his, I believe it was with Dan Cummings, but Cummins, but he was talking about how comics that take it to the next level is when they learn how to tell a story, because beforehand you're doing one-liners, you're doing bits, you're doing things, but really that is kind of a weakness, because like you're getting out there and you're not really building anything. You're getting those quick jabs in, getting the audience on your side, where it takes more balls and more guts to have to wait, and maybe a story that takes 15 minutes to get to a point. And so you've got a lot of silence in there, and you got to face that crowd and just stand in it, and it's 98% confidence.
Have you been able to see any of Brendan Schwab stand up yet?
No, I haven't found any.
Me either. Did we talk about that last time?
Yeah, I want to see it so bad.
Brendan put it on the internet. Fighter and the Kid. You watch Fighter and the Kid?
Yeah.
See, so I'm doing this podcasting masterclass. You did the comedy masterclass, and there are more comedy masterclass. I forget who else. I saw another one on there, because I think I was telling you I'm thinking about getting the whole shebang for like $180. Yeah, because there's the ones I think I could benefit from for podcasting would be like the film direction ones, just on that side. But like the one I'm taking out, Adam Carolla has all this technology side to it, and on like pretty much every episode, and that's super helpful. So like that's helping evolve the game. But they have technical writing, they have, what else is there, electronic music production, just all of these things that like for like doing, like you wouldn't think, but like one thing that makes Adam Carolla's a little different is like they have like this big board of sound effects, like external, like what I was talking about before we start recording with the computer, how I'm trying to get stuff set up technologically. It's just a slow drip. But this first year, like I just have a monthly goal. I'm up and rolling, people are listening, One of my podcasts on YouTube got like 300 views, very very meager, but that's actually pretty good for a YouTube video.
Yeah, it's more than anything I've ever put out.
Just getting up and going.
Yeah.
Have you like lived any of your stuff?
I haven't lived anything. I've put up certain, like I did a roast battle in Tulsa last night, and I took one of my big zingers from there and put it on my Instagram, just because that's a joke that I'm probably never going to have to use again, or if I do, it'll be in a weird situation, and so I don't mind it being out there, because like once.
So what's a roast battle?
A roast battle is a competition where this was held on by Nick Osborne and Nick Burkett. They did a roast called The Nicks or Dicks, and they take like 12 comics and each one pairs off against each other in like doing roast style funny insults, and you narrow it down to one winner take all.
So like a 8 Mile of stand-up
yes,
comedy.
That's exactly what it is.
I was just like, my mind was racing. I had to
amazing
clarify.
Last night they had a couple, like, I don't know if you've ever seen Crashing on HBO.
No,
but it's a show about stand-up comedy.
I'll watch it.
It's an amazing show. It's got Pete Holmes as the main character, and he plays an open micer in New York. But anyway, I'm not going to spoil anything for the last episode of the last season that just came out, but there's a couple of comics that roast each other. So I got to see the live version of that last night, which was amazing.
Oh, no.
It was so funny.
So is like tournament style?
Yeah, tournament style. So I went up against a guy named Darren Ebacher, who I'd never met before. And then once I got past him, I went up against the guy who won another round. And so just a tournament bracket.
How do they determine the winner? I mean,
there's 3 judges, and the judges will, if they're kind of on the fence, they'll get a response from the crowd. But
you ever seen the movie Starsky and Hutch with Ben Stiller and Owen Wilson?
Yeah.
Where like he's like, no, I didn't lose. He's on coke, and I'm like, he doesn't know he's on coke. That is so funny. I want to say we'd like maybe me and someone else talked about that exact one, the funky disco truck driver.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but we did that, and I made it through the first 2 rounds, and then lost to a dude that was so funny that he just goes, I'm not going to roast you. And starts roasting the last guy that he was roasted, and continued. And I was trying to roast him while he just kept doing that, and so I just got smashed. It was amazing to see. It was beautiful
experience. Yeah, I mean, so you're out doing stuff like that all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
as much as I can.
How much comedy do you feel like you've done live since I saw you last on the podcast? It's only been like 6 weeks or something, right?
Yeah, a lot.
I've been seeing you do so much. I'm like, well, shit, let's have him already just come back. Which you were like, what, my 3rd guest, and now we're this
third or fourth,
episode 16, I think. So,
heck yeah, dude.
But I've done like 10 MMA shows.
Yeah.
I've done a whole bunch of other podcasts on the side, music podcasts and different things. So
yeah.
But I've been following you on social, and
I'm not in the house anymore. I got out of my house.
Really?
Yeah. So my lease was up, and I was trying to find another place, and everything was more than I wanted to pay for. And I got a tent for my truck for Christmas, and I was like, screw it, I'll live in my truck, and I'll just like stay on friends' houses, do comedy, finish school. And that was my plan. And then my dad heard that was my plan. He goes, just stay in my camper. So I sold and got rid of most of my stuff, and now I'm in a camper so that I can be mobile.
Dude, I was listening to Ralphie May.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you and I talked about this, but Ralphie May is from my same hometown.
DeQueen?
Clarksville. So like his mom lives in Clarksville.
Yeah.
He is buried in, I had a guest on for this Maynard James Keenan episode where like all we talked about was Maynard and Tool and Pussifer and a Perfect Circle. But where he lives at in Clarksville, which I used to go there to like watch their band practice and jam with them and stuff. Like right across, Ralphie May is buried in that cemetery. His grandma and mom. I think his grandma's passed away, and I think his mom has cancer or something. Yeah. But he was on Joey Diaz's podcast, was talking about like driving through like Texas or somewhere and pulling over and sleeping in the back of his truck and like getting snowed on. So yeah, this is the life of an up and comer. Yeah,
that's it was one of those situations where I was like, I don't need any of this stuff, and if I'm gonna seriously give it a shot, like I gotta start getting rid of stuff because I couldn't afford to take it all with me.
Yeah, so you're just on the road like every weekend
that I can be. So what I'll do is during the week I go to every open mic that I can, is what it's affordable for me at the time, because I'm driving from Russellville to Little Rock most of the time. And then from there, make connections with people and that are putting on other shows, and then they'll pay you to come to those shows. And right now, I'm booked through April. So.
Nice. So, what is a up and coming comic get paid at a show right now? Like $100? Like to cover your trip?
Most of the time,
free beer?
Yeah. So I've done for free food and drinks. I've done, which turned out to be like a cheeseburger and one shot. And then I've done it for $20. I mean, some like places will pay you more depending on what the show is, but sometimes I've done it on IOU. Like,
we'll take care of you next time.
Yeah. And the thing is that I'm so new to the game. I'm just trying to cut my teeth.
Trying to get your name out there, yeah.
And it's not even about that. It's about getting in front of different crowds, and it's about getting the experience of, okay, what is a crowd that just got off work on Friday, has been drinking, and like doesn't want to hear you? They're there to do karaoke. Like this is their one escape, and then you're interrupting, and you're now all of a sudden you're asking them to be quiet so you can do comedy, and they're like, fuck off. And so like getting that experience and being able to be confident in that and learn how to handle a room like that, that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah. Have you been to any like major metro areas like Dallas or Houston or Austin?
Yeah, I've done Hyenas in Dallas. I did their open mic. I haven't been booked at Hyenas, but I've done their open mic. And I've been to Houston. I went to Rogan's stand-up in Houston.
Oh,
it was amazing.
Yeah, was that since I saw you last?
Yes.
Oh, wow. Dude,
it
jelly.
Awesome. It was amazing.
Well, see, I've heard that Houston is still like a major hearth for comedians.
Yeah.
That's where I think Kennison told Ralphie May to move to.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, but
there's a guy at the Joint right now in Little Rock that worked with Bill Hicks in Houston.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should go be Pauly Shore's intern.
I wish.
I read online about it. There's a funny story about a guy who says he was Pauly Shore's intern. I don't know if he really was, but It's a hilarious story. And then there's that story about Pauly Shore and the actual physical proof of Pauly Shore being, for a very brief amount of time, on Joey Diaz's Church of What's Happening Now.
Yeah.
Until he ate those stars of death.
I didn't see that one.
Oh man, they had to stop it.
Oh really?
Like 15 minutes in. Dude, I've been showing people this. Have you seen Lee Syatt on Stars of Death?
Mm-mm.
Where he's like, oh dude, we gotta throw that shit up on the TV right now, dude.
Yes.
Yeah,
Please
so like
do.
Lee Syatt's the producer of Church of What's Happening Now. And so there's these gummy,
Christ killer.
there's these gummy bears that Joey Diaz is famous for having on the table in his studio. Like when I type in Lee Syatt's name, the second result is Lee Syatt Stars of Death. But and there's multiple videos too, but this one I think is the best one. It says Lee Syatt in outer space.
You know, Lee's doing stand up now.
Really?
Yeah, and apparently like he's
so
pretty good.
He's so fun, dude. I mean, how could you not? I mean, basically he's Joey Diaz's apprentice. Watch this shit, dude. They're listening to music and he's just zoning, dude. Watch this dude starts playing air drums over here. They're listening to some music. He's like, oh, that music is so good in my ear. I got to put these headphones on a little more. Look, he left the camera on him.
I know. Dude, what is it like to be in a room like that with Joey Diaz?
God. Oh, dude. There's 3 other people just having a conversation. He's like, I can't exist right now.
Dude, I've got a story that I do about being in Colorado. And I went up there for the first time with the girl I was dating and her family. And so I met her parents when I was about 500 milligrams in.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, 500 milligrams is no joke, dude.
I'd never eaten edibles before.
Put you comatose.
Yeah.
And paranoid. You know, it's like, here's the thing about cannabis, marijuana, is that it can and will, in its various forms, give you panic attacks.
Yeah.
That's like, so when like just think about it as extreme paranoia, I guess. Like, I've never had any panic attacks. but that is a common thing I hear. I've heard Joe Rogan talk about it. I've like heard and known people and seen people have panic attacks, and it's just like, oh, especially like dabbing and stuff like that.
I've never done anything dabbing like that, but anytime that I would have allegedly experienced it, I would, it's kind of like you can tell that you're getting worked up over something. You can tell, and then I know that that's a danger, so I calm myself down. And
I'm like, I've never felt paranoid, just like gotta go look out the window type. Oh my God.
Yeah, I've never, nothing like that, but
I just like a different paranoia, I think.
Yeah.
People say paranoid.
Well, like with other psychedelic substances, like it, I have had good experiences and bad experiences, but the bad experiences were still fun and still a good thing. It's like, you know how when you go to a scary movie and you get scared, but you know you're in a movie, so you have fun?
Some people, you know, what's mind-blowing to me is some people lack the ability. Like, I don't think I've ever had a panic attack.
Yeah.
So, like, I can empathize because, like, I've learned more about people that do, and like I said, seen it happen. And it's interesting to me, but, like, so some people can't just be like, oh, okay, my heart is racing because I just did this, and that makes your heart race.
Right.
And that's normal.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, oh, I'm dying right now, and then they start freaking out even worse, and like that's I was talking with somebody the other day about someone getting arrested at a widespread panic concert, and I think they were on acid or something.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure they were on acid, but they were getting arrested. I don't even think they had drugs on them, but for whatever reason they were getting arrested. Like maybe they saw them like smoking weed in the crowd, I don't know, but they like pulled him out of the crowd to arrest him, and they like had a panic attack at that instance because they were on drugs, acid, whatever, and smoking weed probably, I don't know, and they had a panic attack and died while they were being arrested.
Whoa.
Moment of silence.
Yeah,
pretty heavy.
See, it's hard for me to see something like that and not just be immediately judgmental, like you're being a pansy, like but
I felt that way too, yeah, and then
but
I could empathize, just like with opiates. I couldn't empathize for a long time, and now I can.
Right. Well, I just made a friend through the theater department because I started getting into acting that hears tornado sirens at noon on Wednesday every week, and like starts literally going into a panic attack, get real sweaty and start to faint, and she knows it's coming, and like just she hears those sirens and
done.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, actually, so the other night, I briefly talked about this yesterday with my guest, but the other night I went out and I had dinner. It was after a long day, and I didn't feel like I was dehydrated, but I had, I think, like 3 beers and a shot of Patron.
Mm-hmm.
And came back home, and then like a couple hours later, I was like crashing out on the couch, and I went to bed, and I fell asleep for maybe like 40 minutes or something, and then I woke up, and I don't know if like I got like bundled up in the blanket or like I was dehydrated or whatever, but I woke up and I felt kind of like, I was like, man, am I gonna throw up? Like I didn't have enough alcohol with dinner and wasn't dehydrated. Like I'd had enough. I was like, no, okay, I've had enough water today. But I felt a little panicky. I was like kind of like a little short of breath in a way, but like that's probably literally the only time I've ever felt that way. And it was like that, like Friday night.
Yeah,
it was after open mat and everything. But too, I've been feeling like maybe I got an upper respiratory infection coming on in hindsight. Like I felt that way the last couple of times I rolled.
Yeah.
So like right here in my chest when I get like to breathing heavily from like when my lungs are getting warmed up.
It's amazing how athletes can be so in tune with their body that you can feel a respiratory infection like that.
Did you ever meet Mr. Dean?
Older gentleman?
Yeah, judo sensei.
Yes.
Yeah. So he, like I'm talking like his heart rate changes a bit. He's just like, what's going on here? You know, I mean, and he is in control. Like one time he said, so this guy is out there. He is former Special Forces, Vietnam era, but was a South American group. But he can put his thumb through a can I've seen him do this like dozens of times, but like an empty cola can, right? He holds it and he's just like pokes a hole in it without bending it. And it's crazy.
Yeah, and you want to know something crazier? I got a buddy that I believe he had cirrhosis, so he's quit drinking. But before, when he was drinking all the time and got so good at shotgunning beers, he would use both thumbs and just and shotgun it. No, not use a key or nothing to open it. Just never cut his thumb, never anything. Just punch a straight hole through it and then throw it up.
Interesting. I've seen people open beers that way. I've never seen anyone do it on an empty can.
Yeah.
That's the impressive part, is not denting the empty can.
Right. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Like
because whatever's inside's pushing back against it, so
apparently one time he had some sort of like maybe a blood infection or like a bacterial infection of some kind that was like had jacked his heart up.
Yeah.
And he was in the hospital. So like he can control his heart rate. And he was explaining to me that like he had to go to the hospital and got on a monitor, and they're like, yeah, your heart rate's really high. We don't know 100% what's going on. But and he was like, oh, okay. And just started like sort of focusing on his breathing / focusing on his heart rate, and physically lowered his heart rate down. And they were like, okay, well now we're just going to keep you monitored. And but he said like that was like he knew he could lower his heart rate at that time, because I think he was probably in his 50s at that time. So like he knew he could lower his heart rate, but he had never,
just straight ninja shit. Can you imagine being that nurse?
I mean, well, I think his nurse was the nurse was his wife, ironically too. But I mean, I'm sure there was other people, doctor and whatnot. But I mean, I that's not. I mean, I get fighters to do that, but just like not on command. And like, I mean,
yeah, is that just common and I'm unfamiliar with it? Because
yes and no. On that level, it's uncommon, I think. But like, you ever like be super out of breath and you finally like you catch your breath, and you're like, then like your heart rate's a little slower.
Yeah.
Like, that's and that might be bro science. I don't know. I don't know if your heart rate's slower. I just I notice a physiological change. But I think that most athletes have a lower heart rate and across the line, like when they're in peak physical activity and when they're at rest. And I think that controlling it is a thing. I think Hickson Gracie can control his heart rate. I was telling somebody about Hickson's breathing earlier.
Oh my goodness.
Freaking crazy, dude. Which they say that might be what fucked his back up.
Really?
Yeah, because like, so one thing, like I've been doing a little bit of yoga. I have not been able to get to as many practices in recent weeks because I'm like pretty occupied with making history exams and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I might change the format of my exam because there's so much to grade. Just every time I have to grade one, I'm like, maybe I should do all multiple choice and run it through the Scantron.
Yeah.
But it's like multiple choice, IDs, fill in the blank, and an essay. I'm an asshole.
Yeah.
Sorry, kids.
Now you have to grade it though.
Yeah. Well, I've been super busy, so I haven't been able to practice as much yoga. I need one, but it's community college, bro. Oh, yeah. I am a TA.
Yeah, I got you. That's what my professors do. They're like, I don't want to grade this shit.
Oh,
here.
Yeah, dude, I was that guy. I worked at the university for such a long time. So, do you feel like you're getting into acting? Sidebar. Like,
yeah,
are you going to stay on and take more classes?
Yeah, I'm definitely taking Tech's acting class in the fall.
Do they have a graduate program?
I don't know. I can ask.
You should, dude, because I'm going to tell you right now, at Arkansas Tech, on that level, you could get in on a GA program, and they would pay you to be and pay your tuition both.
Really?
That's what I did.
Yeah.
I didn't get a ton of money as a GA, but I got my stuff paid for, and I got paid like a stipend, like it was like $500 a month or something.
Yeah.
Or like an hourly, and I work like 20 hours a week. But yeah, I was a bullshit errand boy most of the time.
Yeah. I want to, like, I got into acting just because I know that once I move from Arkansas and move to a comedy city, most likely I'm going to have other skills in the toolbox to use to make sure that, I can pay the bills and stuff. and it helps me with my stage presence, helps me with my confidence, and helps me learn how to tell stories.
If you end up going to California, I have a couple of friends who could. I mean, I'm sure you got all your own contacts and shit, but if you go to Southern California, I guarantee you my buddy Jack knows some people that he could put you in contact with. And also, my buddy Sandy that moved here from California was in the film business. I don't know if you watched, he was on the podcast, Michael Sandow.
I didn't see it.
AKA Jerry Bruckheimer's nephew.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, he worked on a film with Maynard. Yeah. I'm going to see A Perfect Circle. I'm very excited.
What is A Perfect Circle?
It's a super group of a band that has Maynard James Keenan in it.
Okay.
Lead singer of Tool, lead singer of another band called Pussifer, 3 bands total. And A Perfect Circle hasn't had an album out in like 13 years, and they have an album out coming out on my birthday, April 20th. And they have 2 singles out. It's super sick. I'll play it while we're on the podcast.
Let's listen to it.
But so here's this is totally I'm like trying to vibe it into existence, but I want to when I posted that I was going to see him, and then my buddy Jack called me and was like, hey, I know this guy, maybe we can get you set up to do because he likes to do jiu-jitsu apparently before he trains, so I might have a chance to get to work with Maynard a little bit.
That'd be awesome.
Have you seen that fan incident where he threw that dude down on the ground, choked him?
No, I didn't.
I will watch that next, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. But so this is this crazy, as I use my cell phone, this is this crazy I don't know if anti is the word, but an awareness raising thing about cell phone usage, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, Maynard is a super crazy personality. He has this wine documentary out, and I just saw a trailer for it, and I want to see it super bad.
Okay, because he's the guy that goes
wine
on
in Arizona. He's been on Joe Rogan's 3 times, I think.
Right.
So, yeah, this is called Disillusioned. It's see, this is up on. It's a Vivo video for audience members. This is what we're listening to in the background.
Yeah.
I'm about to get this set up to where music and stuff we do, I could put this on the audio only podcast.
Yeah, I was wondering, how does that work with
I just haven't been doing it. I just need to reroute a bunch of my cables. I'm getting like some under the table networking for the table.
Yeah.
So like for cords and stuff like that. So we have all these cords underneath us.
How does it work with playing music for copyright issues? Like, are you running into any problems with that?
Not, apparently on audio platforms you don't.
Okay.
But on video platforms you do. Like YouTube has really stringent copyright laws, but like a bunch of podcasts I listen to the audio version. So there's a Joe Rogan episode, for example, they're listening to like an Allman Brothers song at the beginning of the podcast, and like when you listen to that on like the download or the Apple Podcast app, bam.
Yeah.
So too, check this out. So I didn't know this. Since I got accepted to they picked me up on Spotify.
Yeah.
So I submitted to Spotify, and like 4 or 5 weeks later they're like, okay. And then through getting on Spotify, I got on like 3 other platforms. I don't even know. I have to look them up because I don't know. Yeah. Player FM, Listen Notes, and Castrex. Castrex sounds weird, dude. I'm not gonna lie. I like it when they put.
It's like the farmers only.
Yeah, podcast. When they put the word pod in there, and I see what they did with that cast.
Yeah.
But Castrex.
Yeah. That's funny.
Dude, that's a pretty freaking good voice for like a 53-year-old man.
Yeah.
So we're seeing them live in Dallas at this music festival.
That'll be fun. I love Dallas.
Yeah, me too. First time I went there was a stressful experience just because just driving was insane.
Yeah.
And like for your first time being there, I had like a carload of people with me too. It was wild.
Have you ever eaten at Yolk in Dallas?
No.
We went to Tony Hinchcliffe's podcast and to Kill Tony in Dallas, and it was really funny because I saw Red Band and Tony coming into Hyenas, and like I said, I'd already done an open mic there, so I was familiar with the area, and none of the other Little Rock comics were, so I was kind of showing them around, and we got there early, and I saw Tony and Red Band coming up, and for some reason I just fangirled. I was like, oh my God, I'll see you tonight.
I'm Bair the Comic.
Yeah. And they were like, Jesus Christ, and just walked away. It didn't acknowledge me at all. But then afterwards we talked to him and stuff, and it was cool.
That's funny.
But yeah.
What does Brian Redband do now?
I know he's doing stand-up and does the Kill Tony podcast. Like, that thing's
Where is
going
his
pretty
studio?
good.
His studio is in Dallas?
No, it's in L.A. They usually do it at the Comedy Store, but they were just on the road because Tony Hinchcliffe and Redband were doing a gig at Hyenas at the Comedy Club.
Man, freaking Brendan Schwab needs to put out some of his stuff. I want to see it.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a search right now.
That's what all my friends tell me too, but the reason why I'm not is because I have stuff that's funny now, but I'm not done working on it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, like you said, you put out your deal on Instagram.
Yeah.
That seems like a really good idea.
I put out some, and like I said, once I've got something that I don't ever do it that way anymore, then I'll put it up there. And I've got a part of a bit up right now that I'm still doing and have changed it, and I kind of regret it because it's like, oh, everyone's seeing this version of it isn't getting the real funny version because now it's funnier, and that's the big problem.
Yeah, you're evolving your game a lot right now.
Yeah.
You just like revising through writing or performance or both, or
mostly writing. Just because I can't get to Little Rock enough as much as somebody that lives there. So if you live there, some weeks you can get up 4 or 5 times in a week. Me, I have to get up maybe twice a week.
Yeah.
And some weeks I'll go 3 or 4, but mostly it's once or twice. So most of my writing and my work is I'll go perform, video record it, come back, watch it, take notes like, okay, this needs to be cleaned up. There's nothing funny here. I'm wasting time here. Do stuff like that. And then when I'm just writing, like today before I came here, I was at that park over there right down the road from you. And, I was trying to brainstorm new ideas. And then when I get into a writer's block and I can't brainstorm any new ideas, I just look through everything that I've already written. And then I try to make it funnier, or I'll take a joke that works really, really well and try to change the punchline just to try to find something else that works, just to make myself better.
So how long have you been writing comedy?
Since July 6th.
Oh,
And I started doing it insanely on New Year's. It's my only New Year's resolution that I write every day.
So on that note, there's a podcast. It's only like 54 minutes or an hour and 7 minutes or some small amount of time in your life. But this dude's a writer.
Okay.
And his name is Eli Craner, and he writes every day.
Yeah.
And I've got to that. That's the key.
Mm-hmm.
Is setting time aside a certain amount of time each day. You're going to write for this amount of time. That seems to be the key. I'm not on any strict regimen like that, but I do write every day, whether it's class plans for the gym or lecture notes or my own research projects or stuff I'm wanting to do for podcasts or just taking notes on my own, like I'm constantly. But I've thought several times about, like, here's going to be my regimented process where I write things for 1 hour every day.
Well, you see, what I've tried to do with my writing is, and right now 99% of what I write down is garbage. And then at 1%, it's like, okay, I can do something with that.
And you extrapolate that 1%.
Right. But what I try to do is imagine if you took somebody like a Tyron Woodley or a LeBron James, or just like a top level athlete, put how much work they put into whatever sport they're doing.
What do you think?
I'm trying to put that into comedy and have that same mindset of every day I work, every day I go, and every day it's like when I go hang out with my friends now, like I'm going to relax and have fun. Like I'm not caught up in it too much and I'm not living life. But at the same time, I'm also knowing that, hey, I'm looking for ideas. I'm looking for stories. What are people laughing at? What are people think's funny? And then try to say, what do I think about what people think's funny?
Yeah, you got to constantly be like finding themes, like universal themes. So, okay, so this is the Maynard fan incident. He throws the guy that comes up on stage. So he acts like he's going to hug the guy, then throws him with a hip toss. His back. Yeah. Takes his back. He's choking him. It's called the fan incident on YouTube. It was my stage. Yeah, he's like, oh, give me a hug, guy. And then he underhooks.
Yeah, it goes for double unders.
Yeah, it's really more of a Tai Toshi than a hip throw, if we're going to be technical about the judo aspect. It's like an underhook Tai Toshi.
Yeah.
Body drop. But yeah, so Maynard's a Hickson guy.
Yeah.
And like he's finished, he never breaks a lick singing the song.
Is he still singing right now?
Yes. Oh yeah. We'll find one. So on this video, they're commenting. Joe Rogan's commenting on it.
Yeah.
That was just yeah. He's singing "Push It." You ever heard "Push It" by Tool?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard this.
Maynard's wearing like a freaking pair of boxer shorts.
Yeah, just boxers, no shirt.
Yeah, I wonder if he got like a power boner while he was choking the dude.
Dude, I'm wearing leggings for this play, and I hadn't slept, and for some reason when I don't sleep, I get like weird like natural boners right before I go on stage for high schoolers. This is like children in the audience, and it's Shakespeare, so naturally during the first scene there's a part where I have to grab myself in tights, and so it's
interesting.
It was terrifying.
Look at Maynard back when he's like freaking slurking around up there. Look at that. Look how did you see how he went all the way back like that, like a pistol squat? But look,
Yeah.
he's still standing.
Yeah.
He's not sitting down. Look how far back he can
Not
rock,
out of breath
man.
at all. Just
Oh my God.
the amount of physical exertion that is.
How's he doing? I guess he's using his mic stand as like a counterbalance. But that's crazy. He's essentially doing pistol squats and from like a split stance. Dude, Maynard.
You know how bad you have to be to throw somebody, choke them, and not miss a...
Dude, we're about to see him just not even miss a beat on it. This is like a 4-minute video. Tool's apparently recording their new album right now. So they haven't had a new album since I graduated high school.
Yeah,
06.
I thought my grandpa was cool.
Yeah. Maynard is like, I think he's 53.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he could definitely be my dad.
Yeah.
I think he's my crazy hippie uncle, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. He's in another dimension up there. Like when he does this thing.
On stage, you get in those zones. It's rare from an open micer, but you get in that zone where you're just it's a vibe. Like it's super hippie, super.
So that's where that dude that roasted you is probably.
Yeah,
living.
you can just ride it, and then it's like it doesn't even matter what you say. You can feel it, and you feel the timing, and you feel when to say, because a lot of it's not what you say, it's when and how, and you just get people rolling.
Yeah, timing. I'm sure like everything has a time to it, you know? Like people say, time's a man-invented thing by a man-made concept.
Yeah.
Yes, but like everything has a timing. Jiu-jitsu has a timing. Striking has a timing, a rhythm. That's a better way to maybe describe it. Like I'm sure your routines have like a rhythm to them.
And it has a rhythm with different people, and you may not be consciously changing it.
I
it's
pick
just
up on
feel
that
it
in the classroom.
Yeah.
And when I'm teaching jiu-jitsu too, or anything, so he just tosses the dude, takes his back, sets the hooks,
and then gets the microphone.
This is a pretty good video. Pretty good quality. Look at this dude. Yes. Choke me, Maynard.
Yeah, not gonna lie, worth it.
Yeah.
I'm not advocating this, but totally worth it.
I'm trying to see if Maynard has his feet crossed. Maynard's a blue belt in this video.
Yeah.
So he's a purple belt now.
It looked like he was trying to go for a body triangle, but didn't quite have it.
So there was a myth that circulated when this happened that Maynard was a black belt. So for like the longest time, I thought and told people he was a black belt under Hickson, but he was a blue belt at the time and became a purple belt just like within the last 18 months since Hickson's been back.
Yeah.
So yeah, go Maynard.
Very cool.
Yeah, we did a music Unraveled where we just kind of talked about a bunch of Maynard stuff. I'm going to watch that wine documentary, and I may do a review over that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you like wine? Is that something that interests you?
Nah, not really. Like, I don't want to be a winemaker or a grape stepper, or do grape steppers have a name?
I don't know.
Like, what is someone who steps on grapes?
Somebody that couldn't get a better job.
Yeah. I don't know. Insert a peasant.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
there's a Memphis comic that has a bit about wine tasting that is very funny. I wish I remembered his name, but when Kevin Hart did his taping of Heart of the City in Memphis, I got to go to that, and one of the Memphis comics, I don't think this comic was performing for the Heart of the City. I think he was the warm-up guy for the crowd, or the host or the opener or something like that. I don't remember. He was really funny though. He was really, really good.
It's called Pigige.
Pigige. That's the
grape
wine?
stomping, also known as Pigige.
Piggies. They're calling them piggies. Stomp the grapes, piggies.
Piggiage.
Is it France? French?
I think it's probably Italian. Right?
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Piggies.
Traditional method used in winemaking. History. Roman Empire.
Definitely Italian.
Yeah. You know, I'm not a big wine drinker, but I do. I had some on the podcast when we did the fight campaign. We did our first fight campaign the other night.
Yeah.
So I had some then.
For which fight?
UFC 222. Frankie Edgar.
I missed it.
Rest in peace. Do you want to watch it?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I got you, dog. UFC
Yes.
Fight Pass. T-City.
I watched all the highlights and
since
stuff.
I pay-per-viewed it on Fight Pass, it should just be I have eternal access to it before, so it doesn't blight me out or anything.
That's
as
awesome.
far as I know.
Yeah, my dad, he
Your
way too
dad
many interests.
Do your family live here?
No, they live in South Arkansas.
Okay.
And for my birthday,
Deep South.
Yeah. For my birthday, my dad, he got me tickets to the PBR because I love rodeo. I did rodeo in high school and stuff.
Really?
And so, yeah.
You should joke about that shit.
Yeah, I've tried. My
should.
problem is I'm so proud of it and I'm so happy about it that I can't get on stage and be like, look how badass I am. Because nobody, that just makes me seem like an arrogant prick. But that's how I feel about it. Because I'm like, look how badass I am.
Well, I mean, you should, if you took the same approach that I would take and make fun of you for being a cowboy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I'm just picturing you in some assless chaps, got goat roping or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
With your big Viking beard.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, there's pictures on Facebook of me rodeo. But anyway, I was at the PBR for my birthday, and UFC 222 was that weekend, and I was trying to tell my dad, hey, can I leave the PBR early to go watch this fight? But that would be rude. I didn't do it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm trying to find... Brian Caraway fought on this card and lost. And him and Misha Tate broke up.
I did not know him and Misha Tate broke up.
Okay. That Sean O'Malley fight was super dope. Okay.
I'm not going to lie. The dude in me is so happy about that. Misha Tate is a dime.
I kind of think that her nose is weird.
Well, I mean, she's been getting punched in the nose.
Well, not just that. Before a lot of that happened, it kind of looks like she's sniffing something. It's kind of
always smelling popcorn in the distance,
or farts,
yeah. See, that's the trick. Is you tell somebody, "Do you smell popcorn?" and then they smell your fart.
Yeah.
That's the third grade trick,
dude. Something is good. Fight Pass is kind of being weird right now because I paid $64. They raised the price. And I should still be able to... Okay, wait. Exclusive prelims, fight out. Main card, watch. You're almost there. Your purchase is not linked to your account. What the fuck? Okay, we're working on this over here. I don't know why that's... maybe they put it in a 30-day, but it still says I can watch it, but it's being weird. Link, the purchase is already linked to another account online. That's the only account I have. Okay, it's been a little weird.
Yeah.
But let's see if I can find it on YouTube. We would never watch a UFC fight on YouTube.
No. Of course not.
Definitely not. Frankie Edgar versus Ortega. Yeah, it was pretty fast. Pretty fast little knockout. Did you see the highlights?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try a whole fight. Dude, did you hear about the guy? And we may have talked about this when you were on last time, but there's a guy that he acted like he was playing a video game, and he was streaming the fight.
Oh yeah. We did talk about that. Yeah,
he's like, oh yeah, come on, and he's like playing them while they're fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, freaking crazy.
Like on Twitch or something.
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah.
Man. Okay, full fight. No, that's Cub Swanson Ortega. Yeah, I don't know why that's not playing on my Fight Pass right now. That's a major downer. Because I've been wanting to rewatch those a couple of the fights off the card.
Mm-hmm.
Here's some highlights. This
pretty sure
this may actually be.
It's going to show stills.
This may actually be the whole fight.
Okay.
Yeah, from an overhead view. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Brian Ortega is awesome.
T-City, baby, yeah. I did not think that he would finish Frankie Edgar's strikes. I thought he might get submit him.
Yeah.
But he came out and just freaking starched him, dude. Remarkable.
Yeah, every time I've seen Brian Ortega fight, I've always thought...
my butt puckered there because Ortega's finished a couple of fights recently with a guillotine.
Right. Especially that last one where he like changed handles mid.
Yeah,
He just regripped it. But yeah, when I used to watch Brian Ortega, I'd be like, man, I want him to win so bad. I just don't think he's going to. And then he would just come out of nowhere and win.
Yeah, he train. You know, too. He trains with
Henner.
Henner Gracie out of Gracie Torrance. The guy that does the Gracie breakdowns. Bam, starched him with that hook. Bam, bam, bam. Oh, that uppercut. Another uppercut. Oh,
and
Frankie.
I will never call Brian Ortega an underdog again.
That last uppercut lifted him off of the ground.
Yeah.
Did you see that funny ass meme? We've been jokingly calling it a meme.
What?
Somebody at the gym calls it a meme.
Oh yeah, a meme about what though?
About Frankie Edgar getting punched in the face like that. Hold on, I gotta sort through my photogs here. Okay, this is Frankie. There's a picture of Frankie Edgar getting punched in the face. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
a picture of a cat punching another cat.
Yeah, I've seen that.
But okay, this edible ain't shit. 45 minutes later. Too much. It's Frankie on the ground with his face, and then the shot of that uppercut, just jacking his head up off of his shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
That's I don't know if you saw on Facebook. I shared a Lomachenko fight when he was still amateur, where he hopped out on the angle and threw an uppercut under the dude's arm, and then a hook to the front of his face.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
So sick. But just like a leaping hook, get an angle. Dude got hit so hard. So the uppercut will stand you up like this, and then that hook will hit you. And if you get at the angle and go under their arm, instead of like a hook will hit you in the jaw, right? But instead of hitting you in the jaw, it will hit you in the front of the face. So yeah.
Did you see the Deontay Wilder?
I saw highlights. No, I didn't watch the whole fight.
I saw the highlights.
Yeah,
that's all I saw.
Yeah, you saw Dana White's son had his boxing debut.
I saw that.
They were all wearing Zuffa boxing T-shirts. So you said Tyron Woodley earlier, and he's allegedly training Floyd Mayweather for the upcoming fight. Yeah, what do you think about that?
Have they announced that Floyd's fighting Conor?
No.
Have they announced who Floyd's fighting?
No, but okay.
Do you think they're going to risk giving him a tune-up fight and him losing it?
I don't know. I think so. I could be butchering this, and if you haven't seen this yet, Big John McCarthy was on the Church of What's Happening Now.
I haven't listened to it yet.
Yeah. It's really good. It's only like an hour and a half long or something.
Yeah.
But Big John is like, says that when they did the Mayweather fight, that Conor got Dana White to sign some sort of a contract in which had a clause in it called like a champion clause. And basically it said that because Conor was the 155 champ at the time, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
At the time he fought Floyd.
Yeah.
Because he had beat Eddie Alvarez. So he's like, hey, I'm going to step out and make you a lot of money and me both to fight Floyd Mayweather in boxing. We're going to co-promote this. He's Conor's promoter now too. And so, but you can't, while I'm doing that, you can't strip me of the title.
Mm-hmm.
He's like still under that contract. Maybe that contract was for a year or something, but that's why right now, apparently this clause in this contract, and I could be kind of jacking up what Big John is saying.
Yeah.
These people can listen to that episode. Is that's the reason Conor hasn't been stripped, so he could show up at the Khabib fight or whatever. I don't know. Maybe it's going to be an interim. That'll be an interim fight, and then he'll just stay the champ. I don't know what they're going to do, but Floyd's definitely not and doesn't need to fight Conor his first fight in the UFC. I could see him fighting like a CM Punk. That's what they've been hyping, but I don't know.
A celebrity death match.
Dude, did you ever see Scott Stapp versus Eddie Vedder?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Dude, it was the greatest.
Yeah.
It was the freaking greatest. Celebrity death match. What a great drop, dude.
Yeah. I don't know, like, because I know they want him in there for his draw, for how many viewers would watch Floyd Mayweather, but do you think that Floyd Mayweather can resist getting taken down long enough to win a fight?
Probably not. I mean, it depends on who he fights.
Yeah.
And so it's like classic example when Randy Couture fought James Toney. Like, Randy's like, I ain't fucking around with you. You're a sick-ass boxer. Like, took him down immediately, dumped him with a single leg of some kind. I think it was just like a run the pipe or something. Like, but he takes him down with a simple single, passes, gets past his legs, puts him in an arm over choke, arm triangle. Done.
Yeah. Because, like, the purple belt gets a hold of Floyd Mayweather and takes him down. Like, Floyd Mayweather's an amazing athlete.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, it just depends too on like how. I mean, Floyd. There's rumors that he's been training for like years, and as far as I know, he has people in his gym that do MMA. So, probably a minority, but I doubt he's just stepping into it cold. Yeah, exactly, and he's going to put in a camp. But he's 42 years old. The thing about MMA is damage is a lot more distributed across the body. Mm-hmm. But with smaller gloves and his fragile ass baby hands, I mean, as Conor said, just does your hands hurt when it gets cold, Floyd?
Best shit talker on the planet.
Oh my God. And then too, just like those iconic sayings like GSP, like, I'm not impressed by his performance.
Yeah.
Like that's like now that saying is who the fuck.
Yeah. Who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. What a character.
Dude,
so
he's awesome.
But I think that's the direction that the industry is moving, and it's just this more entertainment based
than competition based.
Yeah. That's why Bellator's selling right now.
And that's why the WWE makes money.
There's a lot of people, myself included, and my friend Colby, that think that the WWE is going to buy out Zuffa.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Word on the street is possibly that. So the UFC on Fox deal was not renewed because Disney bought Fox. Mm-hmm. As far as I know, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
I know that the UFC on Fox deal has not been renewed. Well, the word on the street is the number one prospect to replace the sports entertainment side of the UFC on Fox is WWE.
Wow. What does that do for the integrity of the sport? Like, because you're going to have...
it makes it more about entertainment. It's like...
Yeah.
I wish it were more league based myself. Like I've talked about on some of the MMA shows that we've done about like this idea of a league within the league. Matt Brown talked about it. But it's like, and I think the Fertitta brothers in some way on the back end have their hands wrapped around the neck of Bellator somehow, like controlling things over there. But I think that entertainment is what they have seen sells.
Yeah.
Sexy ass people like Sage Northcutt, who looks like Zach Morris, and Dolph Lundgren.
I don't know who Dolph Lundgren is.
Rocky IV, the Russian.
Yeah. Yeah.
let's just say Rocky IV, the Russian, combined with like a 15-year-old Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
He could be a great looking person. And his hair is great. And people, they like looking at him.
Yeah.
And that sells. People liked looking at Ronda Rousey pull her spandex out of her vagina. Just pull him down.
People like looking at Mackenzie Dern's asshole.
Yeah.
Hashtag Joey Diaz.
Tremendous. Oh, man. Did you hear Joe Rogan and Brendan Schaub talking about that on the MMA show? Joe was trying to like skirt over it, and he was like, well, for what we're talking about is Joey Diaz, the comic, made some comments about her derriere. You could just look at Joey Diaz's tweet. Like, you know what? Every MMA outlet jumped all over that. Like, that tweet has reached more people because of people writing articles about it than it ever would have on his. And thus, as a result, Joey Diaz is making money.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how it works. Like Joey Diaz gets paid off hits basically and performances and stuff too, but that's like he has a super successful podcast that makes enough money to keep that you and I could both live off the money that his podcast makes.
Right.
So I think he's like 500 episodes in or something, 500-600.
I don't know what number he's on. I know that the girl that Mackenzie fought, I wasn't mad at looking at her either.
Yoder.
She was beautiful.
Yeah, she's lost 3 in a row now, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what do you got coming up, dude? Anything you've mentioned? Because I talked to you about coming on. I'm like, oh, yeah, he's just in school. He'll be able to come anytime I want. And you're like, dude, here's my calendar. It's full of shits, and I don't know if I can come.
Well, they're about to. So I submitted for Comedy Festival, the stand-up roundup competition in Dallas. It's a $5,000 winner-take-all tournament.
Fuck yeah, dude.
So I submitted for that. They're announcing the top 40, the people that get to go, on Wednesday or Thursday. I don't remember which. But while this whole week, so starting Wednesday, I will be in the Comedy March Madness competition in Miami, Oklahoma at the Looney Saloon. It's like 30-something comics going to that. And it's another tournament to where just a competition to the top 4 get paid. So,
dude, maybe Cowboy Bear could be your alter ego.
Cowboy Bear? Yeah.
Bear the Cowboy.
Yeah.
Bear the Comic, Bear the Cowboy.
Yeah. But I'm not just a cowboy. I'm so many different things. That's my problem. I have way too many
alter
interests.
Egos, man. Yeah. Me too. But, I feel like somebody, my guest yesterday was like, he's like, you've pretty much crafted your interest really well, and to like where you get release in all directions. And I'm like, yeah, dude, that was the plan. Because like with the shows I do on the podcast, I guess, I don't know, I'm sure you riff on all the shit that you're into too.
Right. And so I've got that coming up, that competition. And then I also submitted for the World Series of Comedy. And so I'll be at the Looney Saloon, or the Looney Bin in Little Rock for their satellite, and hopefully get into the World Series. I got an idea.
What? You got anything going on May 5th?
May 5th? I'm in Kansas.
Oh.
Cinco de Mayo for Mexican room.
No worries. I was going to say, I'll give you $50 if you come tell some jokes at the boxing show.
Yeah. Well, I don't have any clean jokes right now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean,
you got 6 weeks. You could on some kid-friendly boxing jokes. But hey, good. You're all over the place, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And you already know, so that's how I work too. It's like, people, it's like when you start talking to me about needing to come support your event or something, I'm like, you realize my next 90 days is scheduled about 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's, we try and stay 3 to 4 months ahead.
Dude, I've started noticing that, I'm not getting pop culture references anymore. I don't know anything about any TV shows that people talk about.
Yeah, I bet within your niche you do.
Yeah, within my, yeah.
Because, how much good shit do we hear about on the podcast that we have only mentioned today?
Yeah,
Church of What's Happening Now. I don't know if you watched I hadn't watched the Ovans yet, but I'm going to, just because I love his hair and his shirt without arms.
Well, podcasts are perfect because you can listen to them on the way to a show.
Do that in the mornings on the way to the university when I teach morning class Tuesday, Thursday. So works out fantastically.
I love it.
So outside that, what any other exciting things that people Should be on the lookout for?
No, that's I've been working on acting. So if you see anything going on, I got an audition after this.
Cool.
So I'm
for something local? Or?
Yeah, it's another play at Tech and doing the student one act. So they have like 9 directors, and then they all have, from what I've been explained, it's like a fake Monopoly money. So they give them each like $500, and then all the actors come in and audition, and they pay out for who they want, so that not one person doesn't get like the 3 most wanted actors. So they divvy it up that way. So kind of like picking a kickball team when you're in grade school.
Yeah.
So I'm doing that, and then I'm trying to get in. One of my friends, she acting all over the place, and apparently has a show that's about to start filming for Netflix. She goes to Tech, and so I'm trying to get in with her to just get more experience and more
connections.
Yeah, because right now I'm pretty much the open micer of acting, and
yeah,
which it was funny because during the Romeo and Juliet, I was just in the first scene, and then I kept improvising stuff, and the director just kept letting me do it. And so I ended up being in that scene. I was in a scene where I ended up improvising a love interest because I was in the background of one of the Capulets dances. And then there was another actor in there. And so I was like, improvise that. And then the story turned out to be Romeo and Juliet and Gregory, because then I'm in Juliet's death scene right after Juliet dies. I'm the one that comes in and discovers it. So
shout out to Balthazar.
Yeah.
One of my kids jiu-jitsu. He's a total savage.
Yeah.
Arliss.
Dude, he's cool. And
he's got great hair.
But then a lot of it got cut because for time. And because it was, it's obviously not Romeo and Juliet and Gregory. So I tried. Acted my ass off.
Should be.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's cool. You're into acting, man. Cora's done a lot of Shakespeare. She's got a lot of books on theater there in the office.
When's her next fight?
This weekend.
Ooh.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Where's it at?
Batesville. So, yeah. It's a couple hours away. I just know Cersei. So, yeah, she's fighting a girl that's like going to be on like American Ninja Warrior.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the girl, like, as far as we know, has not been doing striking. And, so, I mean, Cora's a purple belt. This girl's a blue belt, but she got her blue belt in like 10 or 12 months or some shit.
Yeah.
Like something fake. Like, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Like, I will never, ever, fucking ever give you a blue belt in 10 months.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I feel like like right now it doesn't exist to me. Like you know what does exist? Like an 18-month blue belt. Like I'm going to give probably a couple of 18-month blue belts to some above average human beings, because it's about 2 years. It took me more than 2 years to get my blue belt, because my first year and a half I did no gi only. And then we started a gi program at the school that I was training at. So, in my view, like when I hear someone and it's like, she's probably good. She's going to be a Ninja Warrior. She's probably strong. But like, Cora's a 2-time amateur kickboxing champion.
Right.
Won 3 fights in 2 days and beat a combined, like the number of fights that 2 of the girls she fought that weekend had. And it's like, yeah, Cora did lose her last fight to a decision, but it's like, every time that the fight would kind of pick up and Cora would start thumping on this girl, she would just like storm in, clinch her, push her on the cage and hold her there. And it's just like 3 rounds of that. She was like the first or second fight on the card, amateur. Ref wouldn't pull it off. The girl didn't try any takedown attempts. That girl had like 10 fights though. This girl is a debut. We're not taking her lightly. Cora's been training super hard.
Hell yeah. She's
going to be strong. But I just don't see. It's almost like I don't even think it's if Cora puts hands on her, it's not going to be good for that girl. If that girl can turn it into a grappling contest, it'll be more even.
Yeah.
But they are like, it's almost not fair putting someone that doesn't strike, or that it's only been doing striking, like, let's just say as long as she's done jiu-jitsu, when Cora's been doing as much striking as she has. Right. And I mean, look, everybody says a puncher's chance. Everybody stands a puncher's chance. Like I said, we don't take it lightly. But it seems ill-advised. Yeah. I would not let my person debut against Cora. Yeah. It seems crazy. Even if they were a badass 10-month blue belt and totally earned it. And, yeah, but
what about you? Are you still doing tournaments and stuff?
I
jiu-jitsu
haven't
tournaments?
competed in like 18 months or 2 years or something.
Why not?
I just don't have an interest in doing it anymore. Like I really, in hindsight, I never really competed because I enjoyed it. I was just doing it to like validate my product, and which like I just don't even feel the need to do that anymore.
Yeah.
Like I competed like so many times. It was I just got kind of burned out on it. And like one day, it was Tulsa Nationals 2 years ago, so I guess it's been 2 whole years. I walked out and I competed injured, like my back was a little jacked up, and I'd just seen Widespread Panic the night before, and that was super good. And I just like doing stuff like seeing Widespread Panic and then not doing the jiu-jitsu tournament the next day while I'm injured. Yeah. And I was just like, man, I haven't been having any fun. And it's not fun anymore. So I was just like, I'm fucking done. Like I sat down in the car after that and I was like, I'm done doing this. I'm not gonna do it anymore. And like I just like called all my sponsors and told them, well, you're gonna compete anymore, and fucking just like I was just like done with it. And like I knew the moment I was done with it. Like I'd been getting kind of burnt out, and I was just like, after that event, I was like, man, fuck this. I'm like,
well, that's good though that you knew that, and you're like, you know what, I'm done with this. Time to do something else.
Yeah. Well, and it's like not like it's not like I do jiu-jitsu any less.
Right. I mean, you run in the school and you love to train,
and I still like I put that energy into other things. Yeah. You know, and it's way more rewarding. And it. I don't know. It's more fulfilling for me as a person. So yeah. Anyway, but yeah, that's competition. But Cora's, she's been consistently competing. She'll be her second MMA fight in the last few months. Yeah. I'm probably gonna have her on, just do an episode with her where she can talk about. I mean, she never thought she'd be doing anything like this. She's 25, owns a gym, a house, has a theater degree. Also has a double degree in theater and in history. She can do whatever she wants, man.
That's awesome. So the fight's in Batesville. This
Saturday in Batesville at like 7:00 or something. She's like one of the first couple of fights.
Where at in Batesville?
Like at the community center. Is there a community center there? Do you know?
Yeah. I've been to that community center. I'm gonna be there this weekend.
Oh, really?
How much are tickets?
Like $25. 25 is the cheapest.
Okay, so this competition that I'm in this week, it's if I'm eliminated before Saturday, I'll be in Batesville this weekend. Oh, but if I'm in the finals, then I'll be in Miami on Saturday. So if I get beat out of my competition, I'm coming.
Yeah. That'd
be awesome.
Well, hopefully you're still kicking ass, but yeah. That'll be cool. I guarantee you can get tickets to the door the day of. They might even mark them down to people coming in the day of. Who knows? Cool. I don't know if they do that, but it should be a good night of fights no matter what. There's some people fighting from Louisiana on the card that are pretty legit. See,
I've never been to a live fight before.
Oh yeah, it's fun, dude. And I don't think there's gonna be alcohol at this event. I was gonna say, and there's beer, but I don't think there's beer.
Yeah, pretty sure Batesville's dry.
I think it is. Yeah, I think they're having the next one in Searcy.
Yeah.
So
I'll be in Searcy on March 31st doing do you know who the Kleitz brothers are? They're comedy. They do stand up out of Little Rock. Well, they're twins, and they're doing their Funniest Guys in the Womb recording. They're taping their specials, so I'm going to that and maybe getting a guest spot there, hopefully.
Stay on your grind, dude.
Yep.
You spend a lot of time on the phone, like email, booking appointments, making contacts, hustling people.
Most of it is Facebook Messenger with other comics. That's where most of it happens, because like comics want to work with people they like. They want to work with friendly people that are willing to help them, and you help each other. And like the more inviting you are like that, and the more open you are, the more connections you make, the more you get booked. Right on. And you can smell the bullshit artists that are doing it to just kiss your ass, doing it just because they know that they're trying to get something from you. Like you can tell real quickly who's like that.
I was trying to get something from you a minute ago, dog. I'm like, hey, I got an event coming up. Are you free? Yeah. Yeah. I'm like, I got $50, bro. You said you did said you did for a cheeseburger shot earlier. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Trying to get you on the low. In like 2 years, you're gonna be like doing like big spots. Be like, yeah, motherfucker, $50.
That'd be nice.
But dude, there's no. I think that if there's something you're passionate about, there's no way you can fail. worst comes to worst, you will not be appreciated in your own time.
Yeah.
Future generations listening to this podcast, however, episodes 3 and
I wish
16.
Yeah, that would be nice. See, I feel like I'm over the fear of bombing because I've bombed so much now.
Be power in that.
Like I don't care if I bomb. Like
I'm that way in jiu-jitsu, man.
Yeah, it's like because if I mess something up, it's like, oh, I forgot to do that. Of course, that's what happened. And then it goes from oh man, this happened to why did this happen? And then it's a game. It's like, how do I turn that around and never do that again?
That's the same way rolling that I explain things to people. It's like, so you got submitted. Why did that happen?
Yeah.
Reverse engineer it.
Yep.
Figure it out. What's going wrong here? You keep getting submitted with arm bars all the time?
Or this punchline doesn't work in front of anybody? Like, same thing.
Yeah. Every time I try triangle, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Like, introspection, you know?
And then you can also tell the people that, oh, that's just not my crowd. Or, oh, the crowd was this, the crowd was that. That's the person that's throwing a triangle the same way every time to all different types of people and never getting it and then blaming it on the opponent. Well, I didn't get the triangle because of this, or I didn't get it because of that.
I talked about this a little bit yesterday, but that's the stats, like the Michael Jordan stat. I'm going to look that up. I meant to look it up yesterday, but like the number of times Jordan threw it up versus the number of times he made it. Michael Jordan statistics.
Yeah.
Man, I do not have good short-term memory. I have good memory. I feel like I have like immaculate memory.
Have you heard Rogan's quote on it? It's my favorite Rogan quote of all time.
No.
He says, I smoke a lot of weed, which means I have a good memory, but I also don't.
That's a great way of putting it, honestly.
Yeah.
So statistics, career. Yeah, he has one. I don't even think he said this, but he was the first person I heard say it, and I use it to describe jiu-jitsu all the time. He's like, you do this, he does that. You do this, he does that. Forever.
Yeah.
That's such a good way of describing it. I'm trying to find, like, Michael Jordan, the number of times he threw the ball up.
Versus how many times he made it.
Versus the number of times he made it, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it because it's an awesome stat because you're like, damn, you are just known because you kept showing up, you worked hard, and you tried all the time to win.
You see, now imagine Michael Jordan. Imagine if he like had a spot on the court, he knew he would make the shot. Like there was no doubt that he would make the shot. For a comedian, that's what a joke that works is. And for me, I've got a bit now that I do that I feel like I do too much because it goes really well. No matter where I do it at, it always gets laughs. And I'm stuck in writing it like I haven't evolved it any. And so I'm trying to leave it alone and not do it just to so it's not in my mind so I can hit it again fresh to make it funnier. But also because, like, you're not getting better doing that. You're not putting yourself out there. You're not taking a chance. You're not working new material. And that's something that Ralphie May, one of his advice, there's a YouTube video that a comic sent me that he was giving advice to open micers. And Ralphie May's like, it's a game. And you get up there and you say, if I tell a new joke, 5 points. If I rearrange something, 2 points. If I change a punchline, 1 point. Every time you go on stage, come off with X amount of points. Come off with 12 points.
Try to make an A.
Yeah, try to make 12 points or try to make whatever. And then he's like, if you've got something that's killing and you know it's killing, like you do it in there's a difference between doing it and like doing it lazily and doing it to work on it. And only you know what that is. Like, you know if you're doing it because you're being lazy and you don't want to write something else, or if you're doing it because
keeping mentally engaged.
Right.
Instead of just like, I mean, some people, it's just to use the jiu-jitsu analogy again, because I know I've done some rolling, so you know what I'm talking about. But like people that come into the gym and they roll, they get smashed, they don't correct anything, and they come back and they roll again and they get smashed and they also don't correct anything. instead of saying, "Oh, hey, this keeps happening. I got to revise that." But some people just mindlessly keep doing the same shit.
Yeah,
it happens.
Yeah,
I see it, and I'm like, "Hey,
for a comic, that's death."
Yeah,
because like a crowd can feel when you're not in the moment, and so like if somebody drops a plate of dishes in the back and you don't address it, you look like you're reciting. You don't look like you're like in the moment live. And a lot of what makes stand-up comedy is that even though it's been performed 100 times and you know it inwards and outwards, it feels fresh. It feels like you're just now thinking of it. And so if something happens and you're not in the moment, then the audience feels that and you lose them.
You know, if I were a stand-up comedian, what I would start my act off with right now is this.
Every time.
The circle game, bro.
Yeah.
Finger circle game. I don't know if you could see that on the frame, but
he just got all of you.
Below the waist.
Yeah.
You looked. I don't need to hit you. It's gratifying enough. But dude, that is so popular right now.
Yeah.
Like
we did that in the Army to each other all the time.
Oh, dude, I did it in 8th grade to each other all the time. Yeah. Yeah, back in the junior high days, it was all the rave.
Yeah.
Well, dude, exciting times. Glad things are going awesomely for you and what have you.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude. Again, keep me posted if you got anything exciting coming up. Let me know.
Oh yeah. Hopefully, I get in World Series. I'll let you know. You can come
if you
watch.
do, let me know, and we can have you back on to pump it, or have you back on. And if you get any video, we can throw some video up. I'll link all your stuff on your social again. You want to give me plugs or anything before we wrap it up?
Just my social media is at Bair the Comic, BAIR. It's spelled funny.
I was sad but I mean, I'm not sad. It just like it's good.
Yeah,
it works.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to make a new thumbnail for the next one that is better than the last one.
Okay.
But it will still be good. Okay. Maybe I'll use this because we have this now.
Yeah, we got this now. This works perfectly.
Yeah, so, last time you came, I hadn't had the room lit, and I hadn't figured out how to get my audio right the way I wanted it.
I thought you did that on purpose, like not have the lights on. I was like, this is awesome. It's like intimate setting.
Yeah, I know. I wanted that, but it's just a little, like, I haven't figured out. I'm not a lighting. Jerry Bruckheimer's nephew did this for me.
Yeah.
I'm not a lighting genius. But that stuff, like you hang around that theater department, dude, you're going to pick it up for sure. I got to do some tech work over the years in the theater department and know artists and some of the folks from tech. So
cool.
Well, dude, thanks for coming on. Check out Bair the Comic. Check out his you have a website now.
Yes.
It has
long.
Yeah.
Remember
so I just noticed that. Yeah, I think you got that up since last time you were on, right?
Right. It's bearcomic.wixsite.com/home.
All right.
But if you go to my social media, there's a link to it there. Cool, so you can link through it through my Instagram bio or anything like that.
Cool. All right, man. Well, signing off. Thanks for coming, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate you.